Okay, guys, so today I'm just asking for any helpful tips, advice, just some input on something maybe I'm missing. I'll give you a little rundown on what's happening, and maybe you could point me in the right direction on what to do here. So this is a 2015 Prius V. I bought it in Rhode Island, and I live in Pennsylvania. I drove a rental car out to Rhode Island because it was a great deal, and I bought it. And this was not an issue when I bought the car. The car ran great. I drove it from Rhode Island back to Pennsylvania. I drove it from Pennsylvania to New York. I drove it back to Pennsylvania to Florida. And then on the way back from Florida, my AC quit working. So I came back, got back into Pennsylvania, got the car in the garage. I tried refilling it and it wouldn't take any refrigerant. It wasn't reading. So obviously I knew I had a broken line or, something. There was a leak somewhere in the system. So I took all this off. I took the air box off and everything, and I got to the compressor. And hooked to the compressor to the evaporator is this line. This part hooks to the compressor. This part here, which was broken off of this line, it hooks to the compressor. Then this goes up around and it hooks to the condenser. This line was broken, so I thought, okay, the line's broken, I need to replace it. I replaced it, and I called Toyota to see the exact amount that I needed to refill when I refilled with refrigerant. And I'd done my research. I'd realized that you can't use any type of refrigerant. You have to just use regular R134A with no additives, which I did. I weighed everything out on the scale. I used one can of a 12 ounce, and then I used the rest, whatever the math equals out to, it's what's on there, and the rest of the other can to equal out to 15.4 ounces. And I didn't put any oil in that time. Once the line blew, I did add some, but I'll get to that. And I did call Supercool to make sure that I could use this oil, and it says it's compatible with R134AC systems. I wanted to make sure I could use it in my hybrid system, and it says that I could, because it says right here, safe for hybrid and electric compressors using R134 refrigerant. So we know that I have the right refrigerant and I have the right oil, because that's one thing that people were saying was wrong. So I replaced it. It worked for like a day, and then the line blew. I ordered the line from China. I thought, okay, it must be because I got a cheap line. I got a cheap eBay line that was like $20 or $30, whatever it was. So I got a higher quality line from Rock Auto. It blew. I tried a couple different auto manufacturers, and I realized it wasn't the line. So I did a bit more research, and I made sure I was doing everything properly by vacuuming out the line, and I heard that I may have moisture in my system. So the dryer is hooked to the condenser, so I replaced the whole condenser. I thought, okay, this will take care of it if I replace the condenser, because there must be moisture in the line causing some type of pressure buildup for this to blow, which doesn't make sense to me though, because you would think that it would blow on the rubber portion and not this part here. So I replaced the line again. Line blew again. So I was like, you know what? I got my new condenser. I've been through 5 or 6 lines already. So I'm going to go to a mechanic this time once I install a factory OEM line. And I did that, and then it blew. Same exact thing. The line blew again. This time the AC worked for like a week, and then it blew. So you know, when I was talking to the mechanic who replaced it, he said, man, the only thing I could think of is maybe, you know, it's got to be vibration. It can't be pressure related. It's got to be some type of vibration. So I thought, you know, I did drive the car a lot. I used the AC a lot in Florida because I did camp in it a few nights, and I left the car cycle on and off in that Florida humidity with the AC on. So I thought, you know, maybe I wore out the engine mounts. I took it, got the engine mounts replaced, got the AC recharged again, line blew again. The only thing left is the compressor and the evaporator. Now, I wouldn't think it would be the compressor because it'll work for like a week. So I don't get it. And in the midst of all this, I did replace the hybrid battery as well. The hybrid battery was going bad. And I don't think I've put a line on since the hybrid battery has been replaced. I did get another cheap, just an eBay line to put on. But I don't know at this point what to do or what could be causing this. I'll keep the post updated. If you want to check the pinned comments, when I do resolve this issue, I will post what fixed it in the pinned comments. But right now, I've been through like a dozen of these, man. It's nonstop. And one other thing I wanted to add, because this kind of got me away from it being pressure related, thinking that it may be pressure related, is because I replaced one of these lines and I did not recharge the system. I did not use the system. I used the heat with the AC off. I simply used the heat. And the line still blew. So that makes me think that it's not pressure related. But hey guys, if you can help, I'm stumped. If you got any input, maybe you could chime in, give me a comment, give me something. Maybe you could help me figure this out. But I appreciate you guys watching, and peace.